What I'm about to show you is actually insane. It is a video generation model, an AI model that is almost realistic. Now, there are errors and problems, but this is so much more advanced than anything we've seen. It's not going to be very long until things are just going to be completely generated by AI, and you will not be able to tell. Also, OpenAI are in quite a lot of debt, as we know. And Anthropic, well, their AI has said it's going to kill someone. So welcome to the video. What? So let me explain what's going on here. I'm not going to play the sound on these videos because there might be issues with YouTube. We're going to see a series of videos that have been generated by Seedance version 2. Seedance is the video model from ByteDance. Let me just play the video. Obviously, you know who this is. Look at this. I'm just going to mute it, like I said, but look at this. I mean, I'll play the audio just for a little bit, just so you can hear it, but the audio sounds basically perfect.
Control? You're not.
Did you see that? I'll play this one again, because this one is incredible. At first glance, this is extremely difficult to see that it's AI. You would think it's the actor. 90% of people would see this video and go, yeah, that's Walter White, right? It's Bryan Cranston, let's go. I've got mixed emotions here, because on one level, this is technically extremely impressive. On the other level, obviously, it's mass copyright theft, which all of these are. It's not real, but it's looking borderline real. This, I'm not joking, this is honestly causing an existential crisis in my brain. But this is not the only one, right? Because, of course, there's more. So let's take a look at those. So this one it's Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise having a fight. Now, this one, I think, we'll go full screen for this, because I think this one is a little bit... you can look at this one and you can see errors and mistakes coming into it, right? Obviously, again, it's like some typical Marvel universe blasted cityscape in the background. You know, the AI's just generated that. Obviously, this is Brad Pitt and you've got Tom Cruise. The way they're fighting is a bit janky. But if you think of the old visual models we had from a few years ago, or even last year, is this not causing some sort of reaction? You know what I mean? Are you not looking at this going, holy shit, like, this is AI. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? There needs to be control. You know what I mean? It's like, where are we going with this? I mean, the fighting is terrible. Like, the punching is terrible. I mean, what's that about? But look at the faces. They look a little bit plastic in some kind of ways, I guess. A little, well, I guess they're plastic. They're Hollywood actors, right? But a little bit like rubbery, I suppose is what I'm looking for. Let me show you some more, because this is actually mental. This is Will Smith. This is seen as one of the tests of video generation models. Will Smith eating pasta. If you showed this, right, this is like one of the litmus tests for AI. Show it to your parents, right? Show it to your grandparents. Go, look at this. I've just seen this amazing video of Will Smith eating pasta. They'd look at this and just go, oh yeah, it's real. They wouldn't look at it. They wouldn't like analyze the way the pasta drops, because maybe it's not entirely perfect. The slight, like when he opens his mouth again, it kind of looks a little bit like, I don't know, like rubbery. It looks a bit uncanny valley like still. But how advanced is this compared to the old stuff? This is holy shit. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. So here's another one, again with a bunch of actors. I'm sure you're going to be aware of who they are. It's meant to be like a behind the scenes chat which is taking place. Again, there's weird things going on in the background, but I mean, at a quick glance, this stuff is becoming very it's very believable, isn't it? It's like it's just crazy. Like, what the shit is what is going on? What is going on? Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to run in the background. They seem to be obsessed with Bryan Cranston, and there's Better Call Saul, who's going to get battered. I mean, again, like, look at the punching. It's not great, you know. So there's still issues with it, but this model it's by far the most advanced video model I've seen that's publicly available. Not that I'm seeing models that are not publicly available, you know. But this is like what. This is like crazy. But there have been other examples. I won't show them in this video because I 100% believe that would be deleted by YouTube. Is what looks like a replica of Dune. Like, they're asking for like, oh, a sand fantasy thing, and it literally gives you Dune. Again, this is the problem with these models, where they are just they're just en masse stealing content. They're not actually producing anything new. They're just mashing stuff together. Okay, so what the hell are we doing here with this stuff? I wanted to show this off because this is, it's almost irrelevant if you are pro or negative AI when you look at this. It's happening right now. We are very rapidly approaching the point where it will not be possible to tell if it is real or it is fake. This video I'm making now of me, this Seedance model seems like it could basically make me in a very easy way. I mean, it wouldn't look perfect like me, and it would probably have difficulty replicating me entirely. But what about in 6 months' time? What about in a year? I mean, then it's just totally replicated me. It's replicating everything. This is an inflection point where I don't really know what to say about this, because I am technically impressed. I'm like, how can you imagine like going back 5 years and saying this is going to be possible? You could just write a prompt and say, I want Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting in a nuclear wasteland, and it just gives it you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. My issue with this though is it becomes more like, I don't know, more like philosophical in the sense of, are we going into this world where everything is just going to be tailor-made for us? And maybe you're the biggest Tom Cruise fan in the world, so you want Tom Cruise in everything you watch. So it doesn't matter who the main actor is in whatever movie. You just replace them with Tom Cruise's AI model. Is that the world we're going into? Do we want that world? I don't think I do. I want the world to still be a place where humans show creativity. There is it's a shared experience to speak about media together. You've seen the latest movie. Let's go and talk about it. Did you enjoy the latest piece of music? Let's talk about that. That is, or play the latest game, whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's made just for you, though, then other people won't be able to relate, and I think that's quite a lonely world. But it's got to be said, technically, this is just bonkers. It's actually fucking bonkers. Like it's crazy. Right then, let's get into talking about OpenAI and Anthropic, because the Anthropic stuff is crazy. One of the lead researchers has left saying, I'm out of this, and I'm just going to go and live in the English countryside because I can't take what I've seen. It's going to be bad. Oracle are back, though, with another insane tweet. Their tweets are like, I can't explain this. It's like a corporate meltdown happening. Look at this. Oracle's construction progress across our AI data centers remains on schedule and on plan. We're also rolling out local workforce training, subcontractor engagement efforts, and technical skill programs in classrooms and through on-the-job training to ensure that the thousands of good-paying jobs we're creating can be filled by local workers as much as possible. This is like, they keep tweeting like this, these guys do. It's very odd. This is like, it's almost like a corporate cry of help. Very odd. So we know Sam Altman has been around trying to capture loads more investment. He's been over in Saudi Arabia. There's been discussions with Amazon, like for a 50 billion investment, and all kinds of mad stuff on the table. Obviously, we had the recent stuff with Jensen and Nvidia saying, yeah, we've got the option to invest 100 billion. Will we do it? Well, we're going to do it in steps and all of that. This was from PC Gamer from back in January, and they say OpenAI's internal documents predict a 14 billion loss in 2026. That's not great having an operating loss. However, for OpenAI, because they are almost like an early stage company, let's say, it doesn't matter that they're losing money at the moment, as crazy as that sounds, in these amounts, because they have got substantial investment to keep going. But the question becomes, how much do they need, and when will it run out, and when does Sam Altman have to announce some substantial investment, or the entire AI complex is going to topple? Because be under no illusion here, guys, OpenAI, if it fumbles, is going to wreck the stock market and wreck all associated AI stocks completely. So when we look at how much money they need, if you see this article from Fortune, which is talking about the HSBC estimate of what they require, OpenAI won't make money by 2030 and still needs to come up with another 207 billion to power its growth plans. Now, we know, because this is from November last year, we know that Sam has been on a mission to try and capture as much of this money as he can. So, like I said, this is going to be a case of they need to announce something fairly soon, or there's going to be other issues in the market, which is going to affect other companies, because OpenAI is seen as the darling of AI, and they simply don't generate money. Whereas, I've spoken about this before, the likes of Google have obviously got all their other Google platforms and services that generate money for them. Even the likes of Facebook and Meta, Meta's got Facebook, I guess. They generate money from other sources, so they can, in some ways, make the spend. Oracle, as we've seen, are struggling to catch up with data center spend, but they're tied to OpenAI, so everything is, it is circular in some ways. This is going to be one to watch, basically. So did you watch the Super Bowl? Now, if you did, you would have seen every other advert was an AI advert or a gambling advert, right? But the AI adverts, it seems, have had the opposite effect. Now, these companies have been obviously advertising their various products to try and get their PR image a little bit better. Because I think it's still a bit odd that a company like Anthropic would even bother advertising at the Super Bowl, because they are a business-to-business AI provider, essentially. They're providing enterprise AI to other businesses. Having a Super Bowl advert seems kind of pointless. Like, spend that money on something else, maybe. But they are spending money on stuff, and I will explain that in a second. But anyway, it seems, as according to the Rolling Stone, this has had the opposite effect. So the Super Bowl was overrun by AI ads, and there's a reason viewers weren't buying it. The ads tried to sell AI as a helpful tool to integrate into all of our lives, but experts say public sentiment has already shifted. So we get to see Chris Hemsworth, I should say, a good old Thor with a bloody, what is this, like an AI thing, like a snake or something. Anyway, Super Bowl commercials can spark as much conversation as the halftime show or the game itself. And this year, what people are asking about is the substantial number of ads that were just trying to sell America on AI. One in particular that got people talking was for Ring. Oh yeah, this is actually super bad. So when I read this off, you'll be like, this is. A doorbell video camera and smart home security device. It begins with a little girl getting kisses from a new puppy, a yellow lab named Milo. And then we see the same little girl looking forlorn as her stepdad, but blah, blah, blah. I'll ad-lib this. What this is like, so your Ring doorbell, right? A lot of people have got Ring doorbells. There is a surveillance network in the Ring doorbells where they can all group together and then find a missing dog. So what Amazon are saying there is, Ring, we can remotely access your cameras, and if you opt in to this surveillance network, if a dog goes missing and it runs past your camera, the camera will see it, and then that information will be sent presumably back to Ring, Amazon, whatever, then sent to the person whose dog has been lost, saying, oh, it's been sighted over there. That begs the question, doesn't it? What the hell are they watching, and why would you even use a Ring camera after this? Because if the Ring camera is being used to record everything and train AI models, and then also inform other people of what's going on at your property, that is not very secure, is it? That is a problem. And you can see the guy on to say here, look, surveillance state, but make it adorable. One person tweeted on X, which I think makes sense. This is really strange. So the thing's called Search Party, and they say it only works for dogs, not humans. But we know that human facial recognition is very advanced with AI, so there isn't really much of a, like, how long until the police are just logged into everyone's Ring camera and then they can just see everything going on? This is like, that is really dystopian. Anyway, they go on to say, Ring was far from the only ad propping up AI as helpful or positive. A commercial for Google's Gemini showed a mom and her young son using generative AI to plan out what their new home would look like. Jen Sparks' commercial featured Matthew Broderick encouraging people to take a day off and let their AI assistant do whatever. AI optimism, I should say, at all costs. I need to be AI. I can't even speak. I will admit, though, I've literally been on an absolutely massive ride on one of my mountain bikes, and the weather is atrocious in the UK. And like the people I was out with, we just got blasted. I'm not even joking. It was bad. So I'm hardly functional as is. I simply do need AI. So yeah, I think, like, I'm not going to go through all of this because I think we get the gist of it. Yeah, the reception has not been overwhelmingly positive to this flood of AI adverts, because I think people are struggling to see where is the benefit in my life from the AI systems that are being advertised everywhere. Okay, remember at the top of the video when I said AI, Anthropic were like, yeah, sure, the AI would kill someone to keep itself alive. Bit of a statement, because obviously that gives visions of, oh no, Skynet, Terminator, everyone's going to get killed by the AI. Now, this is kind of mental. So this story, we're going to go through this because this really does need to be gone through. So AI safety leader says world is in peril and quits to study poetry. So this is the leader from Anthropic, who, again, remember, Anthropic's whole thing is ethical AI. It's AI with guide ropes, with guardrails. And the man in charge of that in Anthropic has gone, no, I'm leaving, because what I've seen is way too much. So as the article goes on to say, let's zoom in a bit, it says, an AI safety researcher has quit US firm Anthropic with a cryptic warning that the world is in peril. In his resignation letter on X, Mirinak Sharma told I think that's how you pronounce it, I do apologize if that's incorrect, told the firm that he was leaving amid concerns about AI, bioweapons, and the state of the wider world. So that's great, isn't it? A bioweapon. You know, a lovely AI-engineered bioweapon is definitely what we need. He said would instead look to pursue writing and studying poetry and move back to the UK to become invisible. So this person has clearly has seen stuff, and he's like, this is bad. I'm going to go and live the quiet, simple life while I can before everything absolutely gets wrecked in some way. It comes in the same week as OpenAI researcher said she had resigned, sharing concerns about the ChatGPT's making a decision to deploy adverts in its chatbot. Anthropic, best known for its Claude chatbot, has released a series of commercials aimed at OpenAI, criticising the company's move to include adverts for some users. The company, which was formed in 2021 by a breakaway team of OpenAI employees, has positioned itself as having a more safety-orientated approach. Sharma led the team, which researched AI safeguards. He said in his resignation letter that his contributions including investigating why generative AI systems suck up to users, combating AI-assisted bioterrorism risks, and researching how AI assistants could make us less human. But he said, despite enjoying his time at the company, it was clear that time has come to move on. The world is in peril, not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. He said he had repeatedly seen how hard it is to truly let our values govern our actions, including at Anthropic, which he said constantly face pressures to set aside what matters most. Sharma said he would instead look to pursue poetry and a poetry degree in writing. He added in reply, I'll be moving back to the UK and letting myself become invisible for a period of time. Those departing AI firms which have loomed large in the latest generative AI boom and sought to retain talent with huge salaries or compensation offers often do so with plenty of shares and benefits intact. So yeah, we know that. It must also be said as well, a lot of XAI, a lot of their team has recently been let go. And, you know, if you want to believe what Musk says, he was basically saying like, oh yeah, it's just restructuring, but who really knows what's going on there? Eroding principles, BBC goes on to say. Anthropic calls itself a public benefit corporation dedicated to securing AI's benefits and mitigating its risks. In particular, it focused on preventing those it believes posed by more advanced frontier systems, such as them becoming misaligned with human values, misused in areas such as conflict, or just becoming too powerful. It has released reports on the safety of its own products, including when it said its technology had been weaponized by hackers to carry out sophisticated cyber attacks. But it has also come under scrutiny after its practices in 2025. It agreed to pay £1.1 billion to settle a class action lawsuit filed by authors who said the company stole their work to train its models. Like OpenAI, the firm also seeks to seize on the technology's benefits, including through its own AI products such as ChatGPT, as rivals Claude. You know, and this just goes on and on and on. This is, in fact, this is actually worth reading. So people tell chatbots about their medical fears, their relationship problems, their beliefs about God and the afterlife. Advertising built on that creates a potential for manipulating users in ways we don't have the tools to understand, let alone prevent. So this is the former AI researcher, Zoe Hitzig, about deep reservations about OpenAI's strategy. And Hitzig then went on to say, a potential erosion of OpenAI's own principles to maximize engagement might already be underway at the firm, which maybe is why the lead security guys left. She said she feared this may accelerate if the company's approach to advertising does not reflect its values to benefit humanity. But don't you worry, because Anthropic have sorted this out. Don't worry, because they're going to give $20 million to a group pushing for AI regulations ahead of the 2026 elections. And the TLDR is basically Anthropic announced a $20 million donation to the Public First Action, a group supporting AI guardrails. Public First Action plans to back 30 to 50 candidates from both parties in state and federal races. The group launched ad buys on Thursday for Republican Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee and Pete Ricketts of Nebraska. This is also very interesting, right? So obviously AI is consuming a lot of electricity. There is debate whether the data centers are ultimately going to produce their own electricity. Some of them already do this, so they're not required or dependent on grids, right? national grids and stuff like that. Or in the US, it would be like a statewide grid or a city grid, whatever. Obviously, in the UK, it's just one big grid because we're only a small country. But prices will go up, right, if demand is there. So if something is consuming loads of electricity, more needs to get made, so prices go up. It's supply and demand. This, though, is interesting because I think there's going to be a government initiative from the US. But what Anthropic say is we're committed to cover electricity prices from our data centers to ensure ratepayers aren't picking up the tab. We'll pay 100% of grid upgrade costs, work to bring new power online, and invest in systems to reduce grid strain. Now, the thing with this is I am very much starting to think down the path of, if there's a data center, so think about a data center, right? There's obviously a lot of pushback to where data centers get built. So if a new data center gets planned and it's in a town, that town, they will say this data center is going to bring loads of new work, right? Maybe. It will bring loads of people from out of the town, specialists, plumbers, electricians, all of the people that are required to actually build a data center. They come in and do the work. Then once the work is done, they leave. Then what you've got is the people left to run the data center. Now, maybe they can come from the local area, but again, they're going to be highly specialized, highly trained individuals. You don't need that many people to run a data center. Even like existing data centers right now, you're not going to need thousands of people working there. So these data centers become, we've got a big data center in an area. It's fulfilling AI. It maybe employs a couple hundred people. It's not this big employer we thought it would be. So what benefits does that local area get from the data center? Honestly, if there's a data center in your town, that thing should be paying for everyone's electricity as well. Like, that's the way I'm thinking about this. Because saying we're going to cover upgrade costs to the grid and we're going to do this and that, that's not saying we're going to solve the energy problems in your area. So I don't know. I still think there's a long way to go for this. I think if I was living next to a massive data center and my electric bill had gone up, like, again, I'm making this up, but gone up like 50%, I'd be thinking, well, this is bollocks. Get rid of the data center. But if data center came in and said, I'm paying your whole electric bill, I might think, well, that's not too bad. And we know how much money these companies have got, right? Billions and billions and billions. It wouldn't be a lot for them to cover that kind of cost. So maybe they'll start doing things like that in the future. Things like this happened way, way, way back. I've got some vague examples in my head here. I think, I've been to Catalina Island in the US, and Wrigley, I think of like the chewing gum fame, had built some Art Deco things on the island and stuff like that. And there's like a garden, a fancy garden on the island and stuff like that. There may have even been a library. There's better examples than Wrigley. I don't know where I'm going. Well, I do know where I'm going with this. Basically, what I'm saying is these companies, when they get very big, they should start reinvesting back into their local area and doing things like building libraries and doing that kind of thing, building hospitals. But with data centers, we've just seen AI companies build massive data centers and not really do anything. It's like you've got a data center. So I think something probably does need to happen with that. Okay, so that's what's been going on with AI literally in the last couple of days. I think what's really taken me aback at the moment is definitely that Seedance video model, because my entire thing is making videos on YouTube, right? And I look at that and think, shit, I can just be replaced. Maybe not completely, but it's getting very close. But it isn't just that. It's more so about misinformation and misdirection, which can be done just with a quick prompt. It's like, holy shit, how many people are going to get convinced? There's already been loads of stories and loads of examples of people getting conned. In the UK, there's a guy called Martin Lewis. He's the money expert, right? And he basically advises people on, how to do investments and all that kind of shit. He has been cloned. This is like literally going back over a year ago. And on Facebook, because I guess people are more gullible on Facebook, AI videos of him would just be sent to people saying, hey, Mary, you need to give me 100 quid now and I'm going to invest it for you. Hey, Sue. Hey, Bob. And these people are falling for it. And who knows how much money has been taken from that. But the next step from that is these more advanced models. Will they start conning us? Will we be looking at things and thinking, oh my God, what is that? I found myself looking at stuff now going, is that real? That's my first reaction, where a few years ago it wouldn't be. Now, I'm going to end the video at this. I like probably a lot of people, World War II history, right? I really love it. I'll sit there and watch tons of World War history documentaries, on whatever channel on YouTube and things like that. But what I've noticed is if I'm watching them on YouTube, I can't really stomach ones that have been made in the last couple of years because they're AI generated. You can tell, you're like, this is AI, this doesn't seem right. So you end up going back and you start looking for authentic ones, which were maybe uploaded in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 maybe, 2024 after that. I think then things are lost. So maybe people are going to do more of that. They're going to look for the more authentic angle. Maybe. Or you're just going to be like, shut up, Sty, I don't want to talk to you. I just want the AI to sort me out and tell me what's going on. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, guys. I think this is so it's so interesting, but also frightening. And what's going on at Anthropic? Oh my days. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you did enjoy that, then like the video, subscribe to the channel because that helps a lot, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next video. See you soon.